What's the weirdest game your mom forced you to play? When I was little, my mom forced me to play hide and seek every time my dad came home, but it wasn't a normal game because she told me no matter what happened or who called my name, I should never come out of my hiding spot until she found me. She said if I got caught or if I got bored and left early, she'd be mad. I came out too soon once and she didn't speak to me for 2 days. Back then, I thought it was just a weird family thing. Mom and dad were still together and we lived in a small house with creaky floors, but on my 8th birthday, something was different. My mom cried that morning and my dad just stared at me in a weird way. Later, my mom told me he was not my real dad. My real dad had died defending our country. He was a brave soldier who fought bad guys and a hero, and one day I'd be a hero too. After that, the hide and seek games got more intense. Usually it was just me and my mom, but a few days later she told me next week my dad would be playing too because he really liked playing with little boys. She told me I had to be really good because if I lost she would have to leave me behind. I didn't know what that meant, but it scared me, so I practiced. I learned to hold my breath and stay still for hours and fit inside the cabinet behind the laundry without making a sound. I didn't want to play, but she promised me if I won we'd leave and move to a big city and start over. I asked her why we had to wait so long and she told me she needed time to gather more money, so I believed her. Then next week came and she kissed my forehead and told me the game started now, but this time she handed me a phone and told me if she didn't find me, I should call 911, but not to come out until they find me, no matter what. I didn't understand why we were doing all that for a game, but I made her a promise and started playing. I found the best hiding spot yet, behind the water heater in the basement, and she didn't even know that spot existed. After a few hours, I started having trouble breathing because dust and heat made it hard to stay still, so I crawled out and crept upstairs. I thought I heard her talking on the phone, but when I peeked into the kitchen, I froze. My dad was there, and there were knives and guns spread out on the table. My mom was crying and begging him to leave her baby alone, and said he could take her instead. I didn't know what was happening, so I whispered to mom if she was okay, but she screamed at me to run and stepped between me and him and blocked him, and I ran. I hid in the coat closet near the front door and heard them shouting and her crying and then a gunshot, and it got quiet, but I still heard footsteps. I remembered what she told me, to not come out unless she found me, so I waited. But I must have fallen asleep because when I woke up, it was morning. I checked the phone, and I had been hiding for over 24 hours, which was a new record. She usually found me after 6, so I waited another hour, but still nothing happened. So I did what she told me and called 911. I told the woman what happened, and she told me help was on the way and said I could come out now, but I told her no, and said my mom told me a police officer had to find me. That was the rule. She paused and told me, okay. She asked if I saw any officers nearby, and I told her I could see Boots, just a few feet away. She laughed a little and told me not to cheat, but give her a hint.
Is it cold or hot?
I told her he's very hot. Seconds later, the closet door opened and the officer looked surprised, and I was still holding the phone. They took me to the police station and I told them everything and asked if I won. One of the officers smiled and told me yes, I won, so I told them mom and I could finally move to the big city now, but they didn't answer right away. One of them knelt down and told me my mom left with my dad and she wouldn't be coming back. I didn't say anything, but they told me I'd still be moving, just like she promised, and I'd be safe now.